My name is Calvin Dueck from here in Chihuahua, Mexico. And here I'm going to show you a bit about how apple thinning works. And it's something we do at the stage when the apples are small. The sooner the better. But the reason we don't do it when they're tiny is because we can't see the apples that are very small, so we wait for them to grow a bit. Look, right now what we have here is a small little branch, and here we see that there are 6 apples. These will just fall off because the tree just aborts them, but even if we look at this little branch, it's very thin, and for apples of this size, it won't work. So we remove them by hand, so we remove 2 so that only 1 remains. It's very important there that we don't damage the stem. Another option is also to do it with shears, but it's easier that if you're going to cut one, you'll hurt the other because the tip of the shears can prick the apple, and when it's big, it has a wound, and that's where the insect will enter. So it's easier to grab it like this and snap it off. I remove the smallest one so that the largest one remains. Done. The reason is this little branch will never be able to have 5 large apples. And sometimes we say, well, it's the same apple, small or large, why do I have more? But it's not the same. A large apple is sweeter, and a large apple, the advantage is the tree doesn't get as stressed with 1 large apple as with 2 or 3 small ones. And it's very important to do it when the fruit is very small. When it's larger, the tree gets more stressed, and they alternate years. So you say 1 year it bloomed beautifully and I had lots of apples. The next year, well, it has almost none, and they alternate. Our goal is to help the tree so that it gets less stressed. So what we want is for it not to get stressed. So the smaller we can remove the load, the one we're going to throw away anyway, the better from a small size. So it's something very important to remove it as soon as possible. It can be removed with shears, as I had mentioned, but it's better with your fingers. It's fast, efficient, and the tree gives you more kilos of fruit if it has, for example, 200 large sweet apples than if it had 400 or 500 because they'll stay small. Afterwards, the tree gets very stressed, so we prefer large apples. It gives you more kilos. In the market, they're worth much more. And we prefer large apples for eating, for selling. The large apple is better. Here, this branch, to thin it out, so that we can keep up better, we're going to start branch by branch, because if I get to the tree and I'm going to remove here or there, it's better to look at it branch by branch. So for example, here at the tip we see there are 4 apples here. It's too many for such a thin little branch. There it is, that's it. To leave just one, it's best when the stems remain. It's better, but it's not always possible. Here again, let's take some off, the biggest one stays. Branch by branch is more efficient, and it's easier to ensure only one remains. Also, one reason why I remove so many apples is that this branch is very thin. We can never leave 4 or 5 apples on it. Here there are 3. Here I'm going to take off the smallest one. Maybe if the tree had a very light load, I could leave 2, but here it has another one. So here it has another one. So how many apples can this branch support? And obviously it can't support 15 apples, so we're going to leave just 1. Here we've already left just 1. This one will leave just 1. For example, if there were no apples here or here or here, maybe we could leave 2. If it's a year with very little fruit, I can leave 2, but never are we going to leave more than 2 in one spot. Preferably, we want where there are clusters for only 1 to remain. Here on this branch, there are 3, 1, 2, 3. But if we leave it too full, here's another one, so it won't give us a good apple. And maybe when the apple is big, the branch breaks and you lose it when it's larger, instead of now while it's small. Preference is 1 large sweet apples, and it doesn't stress the tree, and it's not as likely to alternate from 1 year to the next.